The greatest enemy in life is not other people. It's not your friends, your family, or those who doubt you. The real enemy is yourself. That voice in your head that whispers, "I can't," the fear that paralyzes your steps, and the tendency to choose comfort over growth. If you truly want your life to change, the first step is to face yourself with courage. Stand in front of the mirror, look deeply into your own eyes, and say, "I am not my enemy. I am the hero of my own story." This is the crucial turning point, the moment you stop sabotaging yourself and start building. Yes, fear will always be there, inflating every challenge until it looks like a giant. But the moment you choose to move forward despite the fear, that's when you begin to take back control of your life. This process isn't easy, but real transformation always starts with the courage to take the harder path, leave your comfort zone behind, and step into the best version of yourself. You're not a loser just because you're struggling right now. Don't let exhaustion, failure, or a setback make you believe that you've lost. The only time you truly lose is when you choose to stop trying, when you refuse to change. Struggling is not a sign of weakness, it's proof that you're still in the fight, that there's a small fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished. What separates those who grow from those who stay stuck isn't the size of the problems they face, but how they respond to them. Believe in your ability to improve. Maybe a voice in your head often says that you're not good enough, that change is too hard, or that others are more talented than you. But that voice isn't the truth, it's just a shadow of fear and past experiences. True strength is born when you begin to question your doubt. Every person you admire has been in a low place, has failed, has felt not enough. But they chose one thing: to keep moving, to keep learning, to keep changing. The obstacles in your life are not signs to stop. They are disguised lessons. Every barrier holds a message that could make you stronger if you're willing to listen. But most people give up before they can understand its meaning. They see failure as the end, when it's really just a call to grow. See challenges not as walls blocking your path, but as mirrors reflecting areas within yourself that need improvement. And once you change that perspective, everything starts to shift. True, lasting change always begins in our minds, in our mindset. Your mindset is the foundation of every action you take. If you believe you can learn and grow, then every experience, whether good or bad, will become a stepping stone. But if you get stuck in the belief that you've hit a limit, that this is as far as you can go, then that's what your reality will become. The world outside will never change until the world inside your mind changes first. So, if right now you're feeling overwhelmed, if life feels like a burden too heavy to bear, remember, you're not losing. You're just being tested. And this test isn't meant to stop you, but to invite you to rise to the next level. Trust the process. Trust that every small step toward change is a victory in itself. Because in the end, what defines who you are isn't the challenges you faced, but the choices you make in the middle of the storm. Will you give up, or will you rise again stronger, wiser, and more ready to keep moving forward? Fear always seems bigger than it actually is. It appears like a dark shadow that grows every time you try to take a step forward. In your mind, fear feels like an enormous ocean that's impossible to cross, so deep that it swallows every ounce of courage you have. But in reality, when you face it head on, you'll realize that fear is nothing more than a small puddle, a puddle that appears large only because you're looking at it from a distance. And that's the power of the illusion that fear holds. It grows not because it's truly large, but because we give it space in our minds to expand. As long as you choose to avoid it, fear will continue to grow. It feeds off your procrastination, from the doubts you nurture every day. But strangely enough, the moment you summon the courage to take a step, even just a small one, that fear starts to shrink. It's as though it loses its power when you look it in the eye and say, "I will move forward." The process of confronting fear isn't just about bravery. It's about proving to yourself that you are far bigger than that illusion. And every time you choose not to back down, you are building yourself stronger. Everything you want in life, confidence, strength, success, lies just on the other side of fear. These things are not freely given. They are rewards for those brave enough to step through the mist of fear. You can't wait for fear to disappear on its own. You have to move first, and that's where change happens. When you move through fear, you'll realize that what you once thought was a boundary is actually just a thin, fragile wall. Confidence doesn't appear before you take that step. It grows when you challenge your fear, when you challenge yourself. Strength isn't inherent. It's forged by the courage you repeat every day. And success, it waits on the other side of your fear, waiting for you to decide not to bow to the illusion that has held you back for so long. And that day can begin right now. When you choose to take a step, even if it's a small one, toward the other side that has always seemed far away but is actually always within reach. Motivation is not something that falls from the sky magically. It's not a mysterious whisper that comes only when you're in a good mood or when the world seems to be on your side. True motivation is something you create yourself, from within, not something you wait for or search for outside of yourself. Many people misunderstand this, thinking that in order to move forward or to begin something, they must first feel motivated. They wait for that moment, hoping for a surge of energy and only then take action. But the truth is quite the opposite. Motivation comes after action, not before. Look at those who have truly succeeded. They are not the ones who always feel motivated every day. They have their tough days too, days when their body refuses to get up, their mind is filled with doubt, and their enthusiasm feels dead. But the difference is they choose to act first, even when their feelings don't support them. They understand that waiting for motivation is a trap that makes the first step feel even harder. By taking action first, they gradually ignite motivation, like a small flame sparked by friction, small, but growing as it's fed with oxygen. And from those consistent small actions, true strength begins to form. Not from a sudden burst of enthusiasm, but from the discipline to keep going even when your heart is reluctant. This is the core of mental strength. The ability to keep moving when your mind says stop, to keep going when your body says wait. The more often you choose to act before waiting for motivation, the thicker your mental resilience becomes and the stronger your belief in yourself grows. And it is from this resilience that motivation in the future will come more easily, because you already have the proof that you are capable of acting even in tough conditions. So, motivation is not the initial fuel, but rather the byproduct of consistent action. Every small step you take when it feels heavy, every decision to rise despite your reluctance, is what builds a deeper, more lasting source of energy. And from that, true motivation is born, not from words, not from brief bursts of inspiration, but from the small victories over yourself every day. True learning is not about sitting still and listening. It's not about how many books you read or how much advice enters your ears. Real learning is about action, about how you change your behaviors in real life. Knowledge without action is just a pile of theories that never touch reality. Personal growth, true and meaningful change, only happens when you choose to act differently, to make new choices, especially, or more precisely, particularly, when things feel tough. Challenge is not about talk. It happens when you wake up in the morning and choose not to repeat the old patterns that have been holding you back. It shows up when you're at your lowest point, when everything inside you is telling you to give up, but you choose to take one more small step. It's in those difficult moments that your learning is truly tested. Listening to motivation is easy when you're feeling energized. Making new decisions is simple when everything is going smoothly. That real growth is born when you choose to endure and keep moving forward when every part of you wants to stop. Because every time you choose a different action, you are rewriting your own story. You are reshaping the pathways in your mind, building mental strength that is tougher than before. It's not the big results that change your life, but the accumulation of small, brave decisions. True learning is a long process, a process in which you fall, learn from the wounds, and rise again with a step that's a little better than yesterday. And this is what separates those who truly grow from those who stay stagnant. Those who grow understand that change means discomfort. They choose that change over and over, even when the temptation to retreat feels more comfortable. That's the essence of learning. It's not about the information you absorb, but the courage to apply it, especially when conditions are not perfect. Because in the end, knowledge is only valuable when it is realized in real actions, day by day, choice by choice, until you unknowingly become a stronger version of yourself. Success is not the result of one big decision that suddenly changes everything overnight. It is born from the accumulation of small choices you make every day, consistently, without stopping, even when the world doesn't see and no one is applauding. Many people get trapped in the illusion that success is about a big moment, a bold step, a golden opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. In reality, true strength is built when you're willing to sacrifice today's small comfort for a bigger future. Every time you say no to temptations that try to distract you, every time you choose to stay present, work, practice, learn, even when you're tired, bored, or in pain, you are planting seeds of strength that remain unseen. And that's precisely what creates the solid foundation behind every success story you admire. The people who reach the top didn't get there because they were always motivated or because life was always easy. They got there because they were willing to pay the price. Delaying instant gratification, ignoring distractions, and pushing forward even during the toughest times. There are no shortcuts to true strength. It is built from repetition, from consistency, from a firm determination to remain faithful to the process day by day. Even when the results aren't visible, even when doubt begins to creep into your mind. The discipline you build by choosing the right actions, not the comfortable ones, is the brick that slowly builds the solid wall toward your goal. And this is the fundamental difference between those who just dream and those who truly make it happen. The former wait for the big moment, while the latter continue to do the small, right things every day. So, if you want success, don't focus on finding rare momentum. Focus on the small choices you can make right now. Resist the temptation to give up, reject the false comfort that calls you, and choose to keep moving forward. Because true success never falls from the sky. It is quietly built, in silence through the small strengths you practice every day until, without realizing it, you've become stronger than before.